All right. All right, you guys, we're gonna get started. Melissa and Ryan, what's the baby's name?
Aiden.
Aiden. Oh,
Yeah, little buddy.
and he's so cute. So just give them a little background about your two previous births and how you came to
So this guy.
this guy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, our oldest is 15, and then the next oldest is 13. They were both cesarean. So the oldest was breech presentation, and I didn't know all the things that I know now. In hindsight, I would have done spinning babies and all the things, but we just followed protocol, and he ended up in a C-section just past 39 weeks. And so Maddie, our 13-year-old, she came next. We conceived her. Landon, our oldest, was about 13 months. And so they're pretty close in age. I went in and I asked for a VBAC, and they immediately had the fear tactic going. Well, the chances of your uterine rupturing and you not making it, and you're going to leave your husband with these two babies, just like they really laid it on. And so I said, okay, then we'll just go a scheduled C-section with her. And we thought we were done. But then a few years ago, Ryan had a vasectomy. And so, many years before that, Ryan had a vasectomy. And a few years ago, we thought, you know what, we're actually not done. We're not ready to close that chapter. So, yeah, so he pursued having it reversed, and that was 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
We had 2 miscarriages, unfortunately, in 2024. But then April of last year, we conceived this little miracle, and here he is. So
cute.
quite the such a blessing, all of them.
Yeah. All right, well, tell them. So she had 2 cesareans.
Mhm.
So she was going for a vaginal birth after cesarean, VBAC. And so go ahead and tell them
Yeah.
your birth story, basically.
So I was very adamant this round. I knew they couldn't use the excuse that my births were too close together because the prior one was 13. So I was very adamant I wanted to go for a VBAC. And so I wanted to choose a provider that was on board. We were going back and forth between a home birth with Michelle Freund. We've had a ton of friends use Michelle. She's wonderful. Or somebody had mentioned Dr. Cap. So, and with my 2 miscarriages and being 40, I thought, well, let's try Dr. Cap and see what he says. But if he shuts the door on a VBAC, then I was very headstrong. Then we're going to go home birth. In hindsight, I wish I would have done home birth anyways, but that's a different story. And Cap was great. It's not that he wasn't great, but just to be home and and I can get into that. But so we met with Dr. Cap, and right out the gate, I said, Cap, I want to have a VBAC. And that was kind of like, is this going to happen or not? And he said, yeah, let's do it. You totally can. You'd be a great candidate. And he was supportive all along. The only thing that he had mentioned at that first appointment was like, well, you're 40. So, we don't want you to go past 40 weeks. And he mentioned I love him dearly. He's wonderful, but it just stuck with me. I was like, oh no, I hope this doesn't become a problem when I'm at 40 weeks, because he said, well, but it's your show, whatever you guys want to do. And so as we're getting closer, 39 weeks, he started asking, okay, should we schedule an induction? And I was like, no. I knew as soon as you start, and I know from Liza's class that if you start any of those measures, the chances of you ending up, on medication and C-section, which was everything that I wanted to, ultimately, okay. Drooly baby. Ultimately, if they get here safely, that's truly what matters. But I really wanted my unmedicated VBAC, and so I just kept pushing him off. No, Cap, I'm doing all the things. I'm going to acupuncture. I'm doing all the exercises. I'm walking, I'm working out. And so I could push him off for a little bit. He goes, okay, okay. And then I would see him the next week at 40 weeks. He's like, okay, we're at 40 weeks. I think we should just like get it on the books. And I was like, no, in my mind, if I did that, I would have been entertaining something that I did not want to do. So at that appointment, I was 40 weeks in one day. And I said, just check me. And so he checked and I was at 1 centimeter, which I think surprised him. He was like, oh, and I almost got the sense of like, okay, well, at least something's happening. I'll let her be. And so that was Tuesday. You're so drooly, buddy. Wednesday, that following day, I had my 7th acupuncture session. And I was, now in hindsight, I had back labor. And he picked up on that, but I didn't realize, I don't know, I thought back labor would be in your back. And it was like the middle of my butt cheek. So I don't know. And I had talked to other friends that were like, oh yeah, that's exactly where I felt it. And I was like, oh, I didn't know. I just was like, something really hurts. And I forget the acupuncturist's name, but she was like, I don't think you're going to be in for an 8th session. So we went in that Wednesday. So 40 weeks and 2 days, had my 7th session that morning. And by 4 p.m. that day, I was in labor. Like for sure, this is labor. But my contractions were sort of all over the place. So I did what Liza recommended. You drink water, I think I took a shower. I attempted to go to bed. That did not happen.
Contractions started coming on faster.
They moved
pretty quick. We called our friend Shan over. Yeah. We're like, yeah, because we could see the contractions. They were definitely, it was definitely progressing.
Yeah. And they weren't consistent, which was kind of throwing us off because we were told come in at, I think Cap said 4 minutes. And he
always says 4-1-1.
Yes.
And I always say 3-2-1.
Yes. And so we were going to push it, but then it was, my contractions would be every 4 minutes and then every 3 minutes and then every 2 minutes, and then it would be every 6 minutes. And so it was really all over the place.
Like right when you think you're about to pull the trigger,
we were like, do we go? Because they're getting close. And then they would go back up again. So my good friend, actually K-How's mom, she was our doula. And I highly recommend, if you don't have a doula, have a doula. She was so incredible and so helpful. So Ryan was texting with her. I was in and out of the tub, managing well. And then I think around 12:31. So I started labor at 4 p.m. that Wednesday, 12:31 a.m. Ryan and Shan are texting and she's like, do I come over? And so we thought, okay, yeah, let's just have her come over. And then with her experience, we'll kind of like let her assess the situation. Do we need to go? Because we're in San Marcos. So Encinitas is about, I don't know, a 30-minute drive at 1 a.m.
No, so probably less.
A little less. So she got to the house and I don't even know. I mean, I was kind of like, when they say labor land, I think at that point I was like checking out.
Awesome.
So I can't remember.
On the way, I'm like, I'm driving the speed limit.
Yeah.
But you were on all fours in the back seat.
Yeah. So she gets there and she's like, I think we should go. And so me trying to get into the car was kind of interesting. There was no sitting in a regular seat. So I just kind of like maneuvered and I had like my hands on the seat and I was kneeling.
Oh my gosh.
We have a big enough SUV that it's possible. And I could have sworn he was speeding, but he's like, I'm going the speed limit. So we get there and we check in. And I don't know, what time did we get there? Like 2:30?
Probably, yeah.
And so they always check you at the hospital to see where you're at. And then if they need to call your physician. So she checked me and she said, wow, as I'm checking you, you're going from a 4 to a 5. And so we were all thinking, okay, we'll just have this baby and we'll be done by breakfast and that'll be it. Nope.
Nope, doesn't usually work like that.
No, we found out the hard way that was not the case. But we were able to have I had a clear birth plan that I had turned in. I had several copies. Everybody had a copy. I turned it in to the nurse checking us in. She was great.
No problem.
And so she was putting that in the system. They put in a PIC line just in case. And so I was like, okay, fine, we can do that. And then we labored for quite a bit. I mean, that part is kind of fuzzy, maybe a few hours. They allowed us to get in the shower.
You did that.
That didn't really help too much.
No, it was kind of a mess there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just
why?
It's just, I don't know, not your shower. It's a stand-up shower.
Yeah.
She has the gown thing. And...
Yeah, it felt like a lot to maneuver. And it didn't feel like, I think if I had a tub, it would be a different story. But the shower was like, you have this little tiny nozzle and you're trying to spray it on your back where you're feeling contractions. And he's trying to hip squeeze
when the contractions would come.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I've heard amazing things. So I think it just, everybody's so different. But for me, I was like, so we get out of the shower. Did we do that a couple of times?
Yeah.
Back and forth. Yeah.
Twice, I think,
let me ask you, what kind of noises was she making?
Just like
the
groaning type noise.
At that point, I was just kind of breathing through. Was I making a lot of noise? I don't think
Not
so.
too much. No.
Okay.
No, just probably light groaning, and then also just like the breathing, like focusing on the breathing a lot. I know it was a good workout, squeezing your hips.
Yeah.
I kind of was just like around her legs, getting a nice gable grip and squeezing with my arms on her hips.
Oh wow.
It was like there was.
But he has a shoulder injury, so that was
right.
Yeah.
So that must have been really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a champ.
Wow.
I feel like we were tolerating it I was tolerating the pain pretty well until I don't know what
dilation.
point.
It was when you heard the dilation number not change after like however many. What was it? 9?
No, 6.
6. You had 6, and then how many hours later was it? And you had 6 again.
4
hours later, it was still 6, and that was like, ugh. And then they were asking, "Do you want what was it?
Fentanyl.
Fentanyl, yeah. Well, we can just give you a little bit of fentanyl." And we're like, no, that's not what.
Yeah, this is where your spouse, partner, and then a doula, because both of them
were on the same thing.
Yeah.
So like it took both of us just like kind of, no, your plan was this, or like just it was constantly. I felt guilty afterwards because it was constant like, all right, one more contraction. Let's just get through this next one, whatever. And like we'd get through that next hurdle, and then it was like you had it felt like a few seconds break before the next one, like a minute, or a couple minutes or whatever, and then the next one would come on. But yeah, just one at a time, really.
Yeah. And I think the thing that helped me, so I was tolerating really well, and then I kind of stalled at 6 centimeters, and they came in to check me. 4 hours later, checked me again. I was at 6.5, and that was really defeating because I'm going, wait, an hour a centimeter, I'm going to be here forever. So, and I'm in a lot of pain at that point. And then I started thinking, okay, maybe I need to consider, which I'm so grateful that Ryan and Shan were there. Cause again, like he said, they said, just one more, you can do one more. And then the thing that really helped me was Shan. So then they came in a second time and asked again, do you want anything? We can give you, there's, a whole list of things. And Shan asked them, read her the side effects, or read her, I forget how she worded it, the potential repercussions for the baby. And that was what kind of like, okay, no, I can do this. it snapped me out of it. So I just appreciated her asking, and just very calmly. She's so, you know, it's in the middle of labor, and she's like, just tell her, you know, the potential risks. I think that's what it was. And so the nurse read them off, and that was enough for me to go, okay, no, I don't want that. Just, I can do this. I know this baby's not going to stay in there forever. I know this is not going to be forever. It's just, you know, for the next few hours. The other challenge I had was I felt the urge to push even at that point. There was a lot of pressure. And so I think I was not trying to push, but I think I was pushing, because the nurse was like, stop doing that. Your cervix is going to swell. And so it did start to swell a little bit. And so that was the other challenge for me, is to like, just breathe through each and every contraction without trying to push. And she said, you'll know, there will be, you know, you will not get around when you feel that urge, when you reach 10 and you're ready to go. So I don't even know how many hours after.
You went to the bathroom and water broke.
Yeah, I don't remember how many hours between
Well,
then.
it was 12, 15, 12. I don't know. It was right after noon.
Okay. Yeah, so right
Somewhere
around
12,
noon
15-ish, maybe.
the next day, I went to the bathroom. So I kept going to the bathroom. At one point,
No, I think it was 11:45. So what is it like?
Baby's so distracting. He's so cute. The baby's so distracting because he's so cute. He's like, look at it. Wow, that. I can't believe you really stuck to your guns. And maybe if you hadn't had a doula, you might have given in.
I truly think the two things, and we talked about this, taking your class and having our doula there was how we've had a successful VBAC unmedicated. I don't think if we hadn't had both those things, I don't think we would have been successful. Because he was slightly posterior. And so they at one point were using the rebozo, which I lasted, I think, maybe 2 contractions. I was like, that was that. Hopefully you turned him enough. And I think right after that, I went to the bathroom and I felt this strong urge to push, and I just heard a pop, and that was my water. So then, because we were in the bathroom, Shan called the nurse. The nurse comes in, she checks me, and she goes, you're out of 10. You did it. And I was like, I did? We're here?
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I was like, it was the most surreal thing, because I was just like, oh, we made it. We made it to pushing. And so I knew once I made it to that point, okay, I can do this. And so the next thing I know, I mean, there's, 10 people in the room, my gown's being ripped off.
Yeah.
They have me on the bed, and they're like, okay, so we called Dr. Cap. He's not here. We have a stand-in OB. I was like, somebody's going to catch this baby, but I made it. I was so elated. I was like, I made it.
Start pushing. Yeah.
I'm not worried about that. And Dr. Cap walks in at the 11th hour. He's like, all right, we're going to have a baby. He starts gloving up. And then 45 minutes later, here he was.
Oh, I love that. That's so awesome.
Yeah. I don't remember how many pushes. I feel like I remember learning in your class, there's a lull, and I definitely had that. So once you hit 10 centimeters, I was on the bed and actually was able to get maybe 20 minutes. I was able to rest my eyes, sort of collect myself. There were no contractions, no pain. And then even in the contractions for pushing was not bad. Like, could handle that easy. It was the lead up to that point. That was the challenge for me. So yeah, pushed in, and here he was. It was the most amazing, surreal experience.
That's so awesome.
It was great. Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions for them? Any of you guys online and here? Can you think of anything?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you if there's one thing that you could have done differently, or like what would that have been? Because it sounds like it went pretty smooth with all things considered. Is there one thing that you were like, oh, we wish we stayed home longer, or we wish we did X, Y, or Z?
Yeah, that is exactly it. we were second guessing because my contractions were just like all over the place. I think I would have progressed quicker had we stayed home. But
For sure.
it worked out. But yeah, for sure. That's the one thing. It was like, yeah, I would have stayed home.
Yeah, and sometimes the contractions don't do what the textbook says they're going to do. And that's where you go to look at the physiological signposts and the emotional signposts
Yeah.
and put that together. But yeah,
Because we're in the same boat. She had a
Yeah.
15-year-old, right? So
Yeah.
now we're
We're gonna have a VBAC. Yeah.
after a cesarean. So
You can do
It's
it.
been 15 and a half years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I can do it.
thank you for
that's one
sharing
of the
this. It's
reasons
super
I have
encouraging.
them. You're one of the reasons I had them come and log in.
You're like,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Super encouraging story. So we appreciate you guys sharing and being on here.
yeah, of course.
So Ryan, what was the hardest thing for you?
Just seeing her going through the contractions and almost feeling guilty about having her like staying in it. And I mean, yeah, just keeping her motivated, keeping her convinced. All the things that we went over in class about just keeping the, oh man, I'm trying to remember what a lot of them were right now, about like thinking about like that we're almost there. And like whenever she was like considering the drugs, like, hey, this is what Liza told us. Like when you're considering the drugs, that means
You're
you
so
you are
close.
at the finish line. Like you are
Yeah.
almost there. Like I remember probably saying those exact things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've gone this far, and we know that it's just right around the corner. And and like the hip pressure is big. And I know like you'll find your own way of doing it. I know we rehearsed a bunch of ways in class, and I know there was just I was just figuring out whatever type. I was even having to modify different grips or whatever. But it's a workout for both. Not saying that I did nearly as much as she did, but I definitely felt something the next morning.
We were both sore.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Needed the chiropractor.
Would you have any words of wisdom or maybe one piece of advice for the dads?
Just review the birth plan and make sure that both of you are on the same page in the birth plan. And
Did they delay the cord clamping and everything for you guys? And did you not do the Pitocin afterwards, or did you do the Pitocin after?
Yeah, that's a great question. So on my birth plan, we delayed cord clamping. We declined anything for him. I declined third stage Pitocin. However, in the moment, that was the one thing that Dr. Kapp said, I think we should just do it. And at that point I had him on my chest and I was like, we did it. Just, fine.
Just do it. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it felt like,
the what?
The Pitocin for after I had it.
For the placenta.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But everything else was honored. So we did delayed cord clamping.
I love that.
Yeah. They were really great.
They were really trying to get whatever they could out of the cord. I noticed afterwards. And
Oh, really? They were like squeezing it or whatever?
they're
Milking the cord.
they're
Milking
milking milking everything they can, and they had like a little cup there, and I don't know. I was very adamant.
On that one.
I was on top of the cord clamping because he wanted to cut it. I'm like, no, let's wait a little bit longer, or whatever. And then they kept on like, oh, look, it's practically. I'm like, no, let's wait a little bit longer. And I kept trying to do a little bit of pushback on the cord clamping. And then I remember once we did finally cut the cord, it was weird because all the attention shifted to the placenta and the cord, and to where they had their little cup and they were like milking everything they could out of it. You could hear like little conversations between the nurses and them. Or it was just kind of weird, that part of it.
I had a girlfriend take her placenta home and bury it in her backyard.
I think if we were to do it again, I would say I would want to.
I think you would have.
Guys, hands off. This is. We were just.
That's my placenta. Keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah.
It was just weird. That's actually a good recommendation. I would say just keep the placenta and tell them to back off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know people who do placenta encapsulation if anybody's
We
interested.
did that
Yeah.
with our second.
We did that with Maddie. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Adrian and Manny, I saw you guys unmuted yourself. Did you have a question? And then you muted yourself again.
This is for. Oh, I like your shirt, by the way. Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh yeah.
Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu.
Train.
Did you have your Bradley method like kind of workbook at hand and reviewing it in the thick of it, or was it kind of something that went out the door, or like what did that look like? How did you prepare?
Just reading through it beforehand and being, because when you're in the moment, when her contractions come, everything's out the window, and you gotta provide 100% care towards her.
You were reviewing it. I mean, so I went into labor Wednesday, 4 p.m., but the contractions are like 20 minutes apart.
Yeah.
So I remember the binder was on the dining table, and you were like reviewing things.
Yeah, I was doing some last minute cramming.
Making sure it's in there.
Yeah.
Try not to wait till then to review it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably not good advice.
Yeah. I'm kind of a last minute crammer anyway, but
yeah.
That's funny. Last minute cram for the big exam. That's funny.
The test is coming. Oh no.
Heather and Anthony, do you guys have a question?
Yeah, I have a question about your acupuncture. You said that you went for 7 sessions. Was that back to back? And that was to prevent the induction?
Yeah. Yeah. So I started, gosh, I can't remember. I think I could have started at 38 weeks. Right, Liza? You might remember better than I do. I definitely started at 39 weeks. And yeah, it was, there's certain points.
38, yeah.
I think it was 38, 39.
Yeah.
There's certain points that they can use to induce labor and get you going naturally and on your own. And so I knew, because Dr. Cap didn't want me to go past 40 weeks, even though he said it was up to us, I knew there would have been pushback. So I was really trying to get to that, just as close to 40 weeks as possible on my own. And she was wonderful. So yeah, I started that maybe 38, 39 weeks. And
so you weren't doing it before? You weren't doing acupuncture before? You strictly did it just to...
No, this is strictly, I need to induce labor. She's like, okay, come in. I know what points to put on you. And I don't think she would have even done those spots until I was at the point that I was at, like 38, 39 weeks.
Yeah, when you're 40 or over, there is so much pressure on you. And it sometimes that pressure doesn't even begin until you're like 38 weeks. And all of a sudden you're getting all this pressure with you didn't think you were going to get. Yeah. So it's better to plan ahead.
Yeah. So I knew that, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do the dates. I'm going to walk. I'm going to do all the things.
Right.
I would say acupuncture was the most effective, because I think maybe session 4, I started noticing, I was actually getting contractions. It ended up prodromal labor for about 10 days. So prodromal is where I would contract. They would be somewhat consistent. They would even be a little bit painful. But then right around 4 or 5 o'clock at night, they would go away. So
that's just pre-labor.
Yeah.
Because you've already been pregnant before. Every time you are pregnant, you get more pre-labor contractions.
Oh.
We do have a question. Angelique has a question.
Thank you.
That's following up the acupuncture, because I'm currently going to help manage my sciatic nerve. So then I'm about to hit 37 weeks by Friday.
Yeah. So
should I request to transfer to to induce labor, or just?
No, just talk to your acupuncturist about, I'm so-and-so weeks, and is there anything that you can do? Basically, she'll do things to help sort of balance hormones. They can even do stuff to get the baby in a better position, all kinds of stuff. I would just talk to your acupuncturist about that you don't want to just come for the sciatica, that you want to come also for the pregnancy and the labor.
Okay.
Does that make
So,
sense?
but at what point should I ask for that?
Or do you have an appointment this week or next week?
This Saturday, I have an appointment with
There you
her.
go.
So I can start right now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're almost full term.
Yeah.
You're early full term at 37 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anybody else have any questions?
I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to check with you. Did you take any herbal tea or any homeopathic?
Yeah, that's a great question. So a friend of mine is a midwife, and she has, they sell this tea. It's called the Nora tea, Nora. And I was taking that faithfully every day. So that was another thing I was taking.
Oh, right. Tiffany and Kelly.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, I can connect you guys with them if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great. And I actually started craving it. It was so good.
Oh. That's so funny because Tiffany popped up on my Instagram today.
Oh, really?
And she was talking about the herbs that are safe to take during pregnancy.
Yeah, the Nora is one that I took probably starting around 20 weeks.
Yeah. Oh. Well, last chance, anybody?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I have to move closer because our laptop's by our TV. But for the coaching, so like my biggest fear with this is like not going to the hospital too early and also not going too late. So I know you guys touched on that like a little bit earlier, but what was like the sign that you're like, okay, this is too much for her? Because I feel like I'm going to see the pain and be like, all right, we need to get the hell out of here. So like, what was that for you from your experience?
I think we were, didn't you have an app? We were
tracking it.
We were timing, I forget what app it was. There's several apps or whatever on there.
Just be careful of the apps.
I know those were irregular, so that's also.
Well, the apps also, if your contractions get to 5 minutes apart and a minute long, most of the apps tell you go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Do not go to the hospital.
Yeah, we saw that and we're like, no. We're definitely not going.
Yeah.
But we were watching them progress, and it was like, I don't know, we had a pretty good solid, I remember like 4 minutes apart contractions, and then a couple 3 minutes, and then a few things would come up like getting ready to go and everything else like that. And just like, we just, I don't know, after going through it and seeing like how they kind of ramped up and seeing the progression of it, we're like, okay, we're in the active labor, and we could see like the trajectory where it was taking us. And then we're like, okay, so we met the threshold for what Liza was recommending. And so we were like, okay, we felt confident that we were going at the right time, not too early or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
because we got there at 2 a.m. and I had him at 12:09.
Yeah.
The next day.
Well, you did an awesome job. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
So proud of you guys. You did such a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was way better than the first couple. I mean, like the first C-sections, it's so clinical, and like you go in there, everything's scheduled, you put on the gown, they dress them up. It's just like they unzip her and pull them out and then zip her back up. And it's like, oh, here's your child. And it was like, and then like after all this, it was like, geez, like this is such, like we felt like we both really conquered something. You know?
It was really sweet. I had worship music playing. Our 13-year-old was with us.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that was cool for her to see
Yeah,
that.
it was really cool.
And the lights were dimmed the whole time.
Yeah, and they really left us alone.
Yeah.
Was it hard for her to see you in pain?
I don't think so.
No, because I mean, literally it was just after the water broke, really. I mean, because
and then I became a little primal.
she changed. They'll change after that. When it comes to push, it's another,
Yeah, and that was the part. I mean, they just immediately put me on my back, but again, I was like, not with it to go, no, let me be standing or squatting. I definitely think like a squatting position would have been the best, but I I was checked out at that point.
I guess that would probably be something to really inquire, would be like to talk to Dr. Kaplan if we were
Well,
gonna,
that's also, it's autopilot, because I'm telling you that most people have medication and the nurses aren't used to people being active.
yeah.
They're used to them lying in bed. And
Yeah.
they kind of, they just go on autopilot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That was like, they put me on my back.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how much effort and strength to push. And certainly when you're on your back, it's like you want gravity to help you.
Yeah, it's harder.
I mean, you're pushing against gravity in a sense. So
Yeah.
definitely that would have been another recommendation is
To line up how you're gonna push.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think once the water broke, it's like everybody came in the room.
Yeah.
The gowns are coming off. They're taking off the monitors, and they're getting her all set up. And then we're like, okay, I guess it's game time. Like, this is.
Yeah.
So that would probably be a regret of not having that part of
That you
the
would do differently.
for us.
Yeah.
Because it probably
Because at one point I was pushing so hard, I was getting breathless, and so everybody was like, "Slow down. You're gonna need your energy." So giving it everything I had, all of my strength.
And
that's so cool though.
During contractions, you were doing a lot of walking around the room.
Mm-hmm.
The room was big enough, where
Mm-hmm.
you're just comfortable with just walking around, and that was helping.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you did a great job. Unmute yourself and give them a hand. Yay! All right. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
All right.